Good morning, students. Hope I'm audible. Welcome to Ekcel Academy's CSEET crash course. This would be the last class in the series. Today we'll be looking at current affairs. Let's continue from where we had left yesterday. Let me just So I think we had covered till national symbols and all. We're done with national symbols, and we also looked at various Padma awardees. As I said yesterday, no need to remember all those awardees because it would be too much to remember. Just remember that there are few awards, but just remember the order as well. So first comes Bharat Ratna, then Padma Vibhushan, Padma Bhushan, then finally Padma Shri at the end. So highest award being Bharat Ratna, and in that least in order would be Padma Shri. Okay, let's continue from here. Statue of Equality inspiring greater compassion. Okay, Statue of Equality was inaugurated, dedicated to the nation in Hyderabad. Just remember this. It's 216 feet tall. So where is it? It's in Hyderabad. It was inaugurated by Mr. Narendra Modi, the Prime Minister of India. Next, the rest again is not important. So it commemorates the 11th century Bhakti saint Sri Ramanujacharya. Okay, that also you need to remember. So the rest of things not so much important. Okay, in all those things not at all required. Is there anything which looks like a fact here? Maybe advocated the philosophy of Vishishtadvaita. I don't know even if they'll ask such things. Okay, India nominates Hoysala temples for inscription in the World Heritage List. So where are these Hoysala temples? They are in Karnataka. Okay. So one is very close to Mysore, where Ekcel Academy is based out of. There is Keshava temple in Somnathpura. The other one is Channakeshava temple, Belur. Then Hoysaleshwara, Halebeedu. Beluru and Halebeedu are close by. I mean, you can call them as twin cities or twin places. Then what else? Hoysala Empire ruled most of what is now Karnataka between 10th and 14th centuries. Okay. Anything which is fact based. Okay, anyway, I think that's all there. Education. Pariksha pe charcha. Again, not important. See, all these things, for example, what are the prime ministers told the students? I don't know what is it even doing in current affairs. Okay, but just remember that there was an event called Pariksha Pe Charcha, and Prime Minister addressed the students. Date and all not required. Okay. Okay, there is this new thing, or rather, new education policy known as National Education Policy. Okay, so this was introduced in 2020, and they wanted to implement this in a phased manner. That is what they have been striving to achieve. I think few of the states have already started implementing national education policy, wherein the structure will be like this: 5 years plus 3 plus 3 plus 4. So we'll just talk about this. This will be the last stage, that is degree stage. Okay, so that is instead of 3 years, now you'll study for 4 years. Of course, the last year being optional. So if you want honors, you study the 4th year as well, and if you want to do masters, then it will be only for 1 year. So that is the new thing, and you can opt for other stream subjects as well. For instance, let's say you're a commerce student. Somehow you're interested in mathematics, pure mathematics, let's say. Then if that subject is being offered by your college, you can even opt for that. So that is something which you have as part of the national education policy. Next. So there are various things actually, too many new things here. You can't remember all these things. What you can instead do is just remember the name of the policy and in which field it is and when was it introduced. That much is sufficient. Rest, all these things, I don't think it could be possible for them to even ask. So don't worry about all this. Don't even read this. Okay, it goes without saying, please solve all these sample questions. So that will help you out a lot. Okay. Anyway, let's move on. Current development in banking. Okay. Reserve Bank was established in 1935. We have already seen this. So central office of the Reserve Bank was initially established in Kolkata, but then they permanently moved to Mumbai. Already seen elsewhere. So what are the objectives or functions of the RBI? Not required now. We have seen somewhere else. Okay, this is interesting. Digital rupee to be introduced by RBI. There is no clarity with respect to this, but they have mentioned this in the budget. How they will do this, we do not know. Okay, but just remember that it was introduced in the budget. So they also released a booklet on modus operandi of the financial frauds as to how people carry out financial frauds, so that you should be aware and not fall for those traps. Digital payments through UPI. You know what is UPI? Unified Payments Interface. The apps which you use to, the system which uses the virtual private address. You know that. So we use apps like PhonePe, Google Pay, etc. So they all use the UPI system to make the payment. In UPI system, you need to have virtual private address. Okay. So 8.32 lakh crores. Okay, that has been increasing steadily. The UPI transactions, that is a good sign. So if there is less cash in the system and more people are taking up UPI mode of transaction, that only means that at least to some extent black money can be reduced. So not that it can be fully reduced, but at least to that extent this cash will be in the system, or rather the money will be in the system. This is also an interesting development. Launch of digital payment solution e-rupee. They say it is cashless, contactless instrument for digital payment. Again, I'm not so sure how it is being done. So far there is no update on that. Let's hope sometime during this year they will come out with some plan. All these things are not important. You can't remember this budget estimates and etc. I'm only looking for facts which can be used in the exam. So I'm just skipping the entire chapter there. Let's look at the political affairs. Current political scenario. Here there are stuff which you need to remember. It's mostly about remembering more than anything else. So you know who the Prime Minister is. No need to worry about the departments which he is handling or the ministries which he is handling. See, I will just mark the important ministries. For instance, Ministry of Defense, headed by Mr. Rajnath Singh. Home Affairs, headed by Mr. Amit Shah. Road Transport, Mr. Gadkari. Ministry of Finance, Ms. Sitaraman. Then External Affairs, Mr. Jaishankar. Ministry of Education, Mr. Dharmendra Pradhan. Then what else? Ministry of Railways, Ashwini Vaishnav. Okay. Yeah, that's all. Because the rest of them, They're not that important. Just try to remember these. If you can remember the rest, then it's good. But since it's huge list, I don't expect you to remember everything. But if you can, it's good. Ministers of state, all those is not required. Don't even worry about this. Governors not required, because how many will you remember? So they have given the list. Don't worry too much about it. Here also, even the union territories, it's very difficult. See, lieutenant governor for union territories or administrator. Okay, so for instance, if you look at this, in Andaman and Nicobar, it is the lieutenant governor. In Chandigarh, it is administrator. Dadra and Nagar Haveli, again administrator. Daman and Diu, all clubbed together now. Delhi, lieutenant governor. Jammu, lieutenant governor. Lakshadweep, again administrator. The same administrator is there. In fact, Lakshadweep was in news last year when the administrator, in fact, introduced various changes there, which was opposed, in fact. Anyway, so Puducherry, again lieutenant governor. Ladakh also same. This is also not required. This is the latest development. Punjab, Mr. Bhagwant Singh Man, sorry. Committees and appointments. Okay, this is important, very important. They may ask. Jack Dorsey steps down as Twitter CEO. Board unanimously appoints CTO Parag Agrawal as successor. So this guy Parag Agrawal is the CEO right now. He may step down anytime, because the latest development is Elon Musk took over Twitter, and it is touted that he may, that is Parag Agrawal, may step down after the takeover of Twitter by Elon Musk. So, but as of now, Parag Agrawal is the CEO. Appointment of election commissioner. The president appointed Shri Anup Chandra Pandey as the election commissioner in the Election Commission of India. Okay, Anup Chandra Pandey. See, it's a very important position, so try to remember the name. Mr. Sambit Patra has been appointed as the chairman of the India Tourism Development Corporation, ITDC. Okay. All these. Okay, this might be still important. Appointment of Dr. V. Ananta Nageshwaran as the Chief Economic Advisor. This is important. Who was appointed as the Chief Economic Advisor in Jan 2022? Dr. V. Ananta Nageshwaran. This we have seen. Miss Madhabi Puri Book takes charge as chairperson SEBI. Not important. Just know that something named Gati Shakti was introduced. That's all. Or rather, budget is based on one of those pillars, and one of those pillars is Gati Shakti. The rest you can't remember everything. Like inclusive development, I think you can still remember. So okay, let me just reiterate again. The budget is based on the following 4 pillars, they say. One is Gati Shakti, inclusive development, all these things, and financing of investments. I don't think they will ask. Just Gati Shakti, if you can remember, it's fine. All these facts, too much of data, numbers to some extent you can remember, but these are things which you just can't remember. You are not expected to remember all these things, so don't worry too much about this. Next. inscription budget, topic wise highlights they are given. Again, not important. Okay. They have more or less copied the entire budget, is it? Such lazy writing by institute when it comes to current affairs. Just include everything. Whatever was there in the budget, more or less copied and pasted here. Updated income tax return. Who will remember all this? Anyway. Okay, this might still be important. The gross GST, that is goods and service tax collections for the month of Jan 22 were 1,40,986 crores, which apparently is the highest since inception of goods and service tax. That is interesting. So the collection for Jan month was highest. Okay, that will only tell us that the economy is probably back on the track. This was in news actually. Customs duty on umbrellas raised up to 20% and exemption to parts of umbrellas being withdrawn. Everyone wondered why customs duty, especially on umbrellas, which is used by everyone, like from people of low income group also. So all of a sudden they increase the customs duty on that. Maybe the government doesn't want people to import. I mean, they want to. What is that word which I'm searching for here? Discourage the use of imports of umbrellas. But are we producing enough number of umbrellas? Okay, I hope so. Again, national single window systems. See, the trick is very simple. If there is an acronym worth remembering, please remember it. That's all. So, national single window system is something which the government has introduced towards making India Atmanirbhar. What is Atmanirbhar though? Self-reliant, basically. Okay, we don't have to depend on someone else. I think that is what it means. See, this is the problem when they name every scheme in Hindi, making it difficult for us South Indians. Okay, this Bharat Pay Tussle, I'm sure you would have heard of. One of the founders, some Grover, no, Ashneen, where is that? Grover, no. They have not even mentioned the full name. They just mentioned the last name Grover. I think Ashneer Grover. Okay. There was some tussle between the co-founder and the other officials, and finally he had to quit the company. So that is the thing. So it's a huge, what is it? I don't know why they have mentioned everything. All that needed to do was, there is some issue with Bharat Pay, a fintech company, wherein one of the founders was accused of threatening an employee of a bank. Due to this particular act of the founder, he was made to leave the company. Okay. So the rest, we don't know who said this to whom. All those things not important. Okay, as a story, it is very dramatic and interesting, but for us, from the point of view of current affairs, doesn't add much to the weightage. Oh, they have devoted so many pages for Bharat Pe. My goodness. Why would they do that? Just checking what else is there. Yeah. Nothing much apart from that Bharat Pe controversy. There are a couple of other facts, but again, not very important, I would say. Okay, SEBI notifies stricter norms for appointment of MD at a listed company. Oh, why is this listed companies? Anyway, so that's all. Let's move on. Legal and other affairs. Okay. What else is there? Only this much, no? Yeah. Recent important judgments passed by Supreme Court, High Courts, and tribunals in India. Okay. So again, they say recent judgments. Okay, constitutional provisions. The Indian Constitution provides for provision of Supreme Court under Part 5, the Union, and Chapter 6, the Union Judiciary. Fine. So they mentioned the relevant articles. Fine. They mentioned the organization of Supreme Court. Important. Supreme Court has added the Supreme Court Bill of 2019 has added 4 judges to strength. It increased the judicial strength from existing 31 to 34, including the Chief Justice. The Parliament is authorized to regulate them. Judges of the Supreme Court are appointed by President. The CJI, that is Chief Justice of India, is appointed by the President, and after consultation with such judges of the Supreme Court and High Courts as he deems necessary. The other judges are appointed by President after consultation with CJI, and that is Chief Justice and other such judges of Supreme Court and High Courts. Okay. Again, not very important. I'm just checking if there is anything which is relevant for the exam. You know what is NCLT is? National Company Law Tribunal. It was introduced with effect from June 2016. Again, NCLAT is also their National Company Law Appellate Tribunal. Current affairs related to ICSI. What is there? New president is there. I mean, this keeps changing every year. So now Mr. Devendra Deshpande and Manish Gupta are elected as president and vice presidents respectively. What else? Celebration of 49th National Convention of Company Secretaries. Okay. Yeah, that's all. So now this is from the point of view of what is that? Institute reference material. But if you search for current affairs online, you will find enough number of MCQ questions which I believe are more important than what is there in the reference material. So the reference material, questions are not sufficient for you to just go through, because if you only go through reference material questions, then I don't think you would have prepared properly. So please do check out other materials as well. So don't just rely on reference material. Just search for current affairs India. You will find enough number of questions on various websites. One good thing about logical reasoning or current affairs type of subjects is these are subjects which are there not only for CSEET, it's also there for other streams, and as such you can find lots of questions. In fact, there are websites which prepare current affairs for every day. So if you can find such websites, and which can be found very easily, so you can easily prepare for the current affairs. In fact, if you visit certain website, you will get section wise classification of the current affairs questions. So I would suggest please do make use of that and prepare. So whatever is given in the reference material is good. One good thing is they have updated everything up to March 2022, which is a good thing. But as I said, there are so many things which are not required as well. For example, they have copy pasted the budget more or less, so such things will not be of any help to us. So how to overcome that? Just go through the ready-made MCQs. So, and also I would suggest take a look at our website. Go there to our website, that is excelacademy.com. There, if you register, you will get access to lots of MCQs, so and quizzes. So why don't you do that? That will also help you gain confidence before the exam. So that's all from my side. I know we have not been able to cover everything because of the paucity of the time. So what I wanted to do was try to cover as much as possible. So we have, I believe, covered as much as possible. So please do let us know if there is anything. Like if you have any doubts with respect to CSEET, please do let us know. We'll try to cover those doubts as well. I will try to answer those doubts through comments. Yeah, thank you. All the best for the exams. I hope we'll see you soon in executive. Thank you.